Hey, welcome back. We're going to start a new series of videos. This is going to be our explanation of how we put together a multiplayer online team.
Because a question that we get a lot, and that is just in general asked a lot, is who would this character be good with? What's the best multiplayer team? Who should I pair these guys with?
And just even specific
What's
characters,
good?
can you try them out and show me what they're like on a team in multiplayer? And there's certain principles. I mean, not everybody is good all around. Right? There's some characters that are just great, like Arkham Origins Deathstroke.
Shazam.
Yeah.
There's some people just unconditionally amazing.
But most cards have a specific strength and specific weaknesses. And our strategy is to take advantage of the strengths and downplay the weaknesses and fit each character into a specific role on a multiplayer team that can be effective.
Yeah.
So for the purposes of our discussion, we're going to be talking mainly about golds, except in a few special cases where we'll tell you we're talking about silver character. Because in general, lower levels, it's easier to set up a winning multiplayer team as long as you've got good gear.
Yeah, because usually the enemy won't have any, and at that level, a little bit of gear makes a big difference when the other person has none.
Right. So the first role that we're going to talk about that really should be on every team, whether you acknowledge it as this or not, you've got to have at least one person who can take damage.
Who can take the hits.
Right, and typically those hits are from the specials, because with the regular attacks, after you get hit with one sequence, really you shouldn't be getting hit too often with the basic attack.
Yeah.
And so our name for this, and it's a sort of generally accepted name, is a tank. So somebody who can take damage. And there are certain characteristics of a tank. And you can have some of them or all of them. But one of the characteristics, as we've got up on the screen here...
Highest health.
Right, so we've resorted our cards by highest health, and basically anybody with high health can take more damage. So...
Shazam is a great example because he has more health than any other character by a 7,000.
Right, so you look at these guys. Really, anything in the 80s or higher is pretty good, and if the numbers are not consistent with what you get, this is Android, it could be that you just don't have the Alliance cards yet. There's some, with the most recent upgrade, there was some great Alliance cards that can boost health and attack for everybody.
And so we have all of those cards, so...
Okay, so you're looking at somebody with at least 80, but this is the pool that you're working with in terms of people that can make a good team.
Somewhere down to normal Batman, roughly,
Right.
in this.
So that's the first characteristic, having high health. The second characteristic are specific passives that lend themselves to being good tanks. So for example, let's see, we've got the two Doomsdays are excellent for that. So the first Doomsday, his passive...
Is when you kill somebody, you get 50% of your health back.
Right. Now so that's great because, pretty much you absorb the damage, he just has to knock somebody out, and all of a sudden he's back.
He's back to being useful again.
Yeah. The thing you have to watch out for is that with Doomsday at least, this passive is going to be affected by Regime Killer Frost passive, where it won't heal. So if you're in a fight against Regime Killer Frost, his passive will not be that useful. His health is okay, not great for a tank, but it's not bad. With his passive, he's great. If his passive gets blocked, then you're in trouble. Containment Suit Doomsday is a little different, because even though his health is really low to start with, and they call it regenerates 50% of his total health, it's not affected by Regime Killer Frost. So he can get knocked out a bunch of times, so his effective health is actually much higher. So he's another example of somebody with a really good passive.
And what's good is, as far as we can tell, multiplayer is matched up by equivalent stats, roughly. So he looks like he has a lot lower stats than he actually does, health-wise.
So here's another one. General Zod takes 20% less damage from specials and supers. And that's particularly useful, like I said, because your tank is mainly going to be taking damage from specials if you're playing it right. Regular basic attacks, you don't need to worry about so much. Then you've also got everybody's favorite topic is Raven Prime. So her health isn't great, but passive is spectacular. You almost want her to take damage.
Yeah.
Because that exchange of health can be a total game changer. If you're not interested in a fast fight, she could be your main offensive character. You let her take all the damage.
And just one by one knock out the enemy players just by switching with them.
And
she's helpful because if you gear her with a lot of health gear, normally that's only useful if you already have really high health because it's a percentage. But with her, it just makes it that much harder to not engage your special.
Right. And this is sort of a bit of an exception. Even though his passive is meant for basic damage, and he doesn't get to do anything special when he's hit with a special. It's still useful because when you're using a tank, you're probably going to be spending a lot more time blocking, and it makes your blocking that much more effective when the other team's doing a basic attack.
Because with that ability, they take the same amount of damage that you take when they hit you if you're blocking.
And one particular character that is useful as a tank, even though he's only a silver, Regime Nightwing. If you look at him, 50% less damage from all basic attacks is great.
Yeah.
He's got kind of poor health, but when you compare it to some of the big golds, but that brings us to our third category of how to make a great tank, is by gearing them up properly. So we've got high health, special passives, and using gear. Now, out of the gear that can be used, the one absolute most useful type of gear,
blocking gear for sure, hands down.
Yeah, because it can take a silver card and make them really effective against golds as your tank. If, for example, if you're going to use Regime Green Lantern, he's only got 22,000 health with not even maximum gear, so for only 183. 3 pieces of gear that block. And this was intentional. There are more blocking gears that are 4-star when maxed out. We don't need that. You don't even need that much to make it effective. So, 3 pieces of gear, all of them blocking. And all of a sudden, you've got a silver character that can stand his ground against golds.
Yeah, really useful. Because like we said, high health only works if on percentage. So that is only helpful if you start out with a lot of health. Healing on special, same thing. If you have a lot of health, it's good. If you don't, it's not that good. Blocking gear is always useful.
And they don't stack. That was the other thing. They don't stack.
Healing gears don't stack?
Well, sorry, the healing gears, yeah. If you can heal on special 1 and special 2, you can do that separately, but having 2 things that heal on special 1, you won't get both effects.
You'll get the biggest one.
Right, and the other thing I actually wanted to add was there are special gear considerations, aside from just gearing in general for blocking, that, where are we looking at? I want to find Green Lantern's gear, right? That there's a chance to reflect special 2 while blocking. That's a special consideration that makes that particular gear for him more effective and Green Lantern more effective.
Static's gear also does a reflect.
Yes, Static's gear is amazing. I was going to get to that too. Who else? Superman's gear, the Kryptonian battlesuit. Superman has a chance to reflect special 2 while blocking also. So does Wonder Woman's. They're statics. So it's synergistic. So even if you're not static, the ability to block more damage and to reflect all specials while blocking is huge.
Yeah.
And the last special 2 reflection is Wonder Woman's, right? So she's got that character-specific ability to reflect special 2. Less useful, but still a little bit useful, are the ones specific to Darkseid, which is the Omega Plate. Hold on, where are we? Omega Battle Plate. But it's only reflecting special 1. Again, character-specific. And Lex Luthor's LexCorp mech suit, which reflects special 1 while blocking. So those are other considerations that might make you lean more towards picking one of them as a tank, just because there's that 3rd slot that's actually useful. There's some cards where their gear is actually not that useful in the 3rd slot. Like Shazam, I don't really care about his 3rd character specific special.
Because the area effect, I mean, who really cares? Same with Static. Static it's still a good gear, but his specific gear is his specific ability is kind of crap.
I guess we'll really decide once because sometimes in theory things don't work out the same way in practice, and I'd like to play with him a bit to really decide before making final judgment on whether his the character specific gear ability is useful.
Yeah.
So what we'll do now is give you an epic battle, or no, maybe not, maybe standard battle.
Standard, yeah.
Do something quick, and see if we can get demonstrate just how useful blocking gear can be on creating a tank out of Green Lantern. So hopefully we're going to see Arkham Origins Batman in first slot to really illustrate how useful he is.
It's a Batman.
It's a Batman. Alright.
Close enough.
He's something. So, yeah, Arkham Origins Batman would be a really good illustration because he's got the special 2, and we've got the right blocking gear like this. Regime Green Lantern is taking hardly anything at all.
Yeah.
Which is sweet. I mean, he is, really, 22,000, right? That's all his health is.
Yeah.
And so, we've got Shazam there, not because we plan on using him, but because I was hoping to attract a higher level of battles.
Just because it's based off of stats and the stats are higher.
Ooh, I should have brought in, I'm not playing my strategy properly. I should be bringing Regime Green Lantern to take that damage. Well, when I knock him out, I will definitely be bringing him. There we go.
Almost nothing. Took
So
like 1,000 something.
One of the critical things you gotta remember is not to sit around and get too enamored with attacking with your tank, because that's not his main role, and when you're not blocking, you're more likely to screw up and make a mistake.
Now you're going super fast, huh?
Ooh, bullet time.
That took out a lot of his lives.
Well, you know, I geared Ultra Flash not the way I meant to. He has no healing on that. I might actually end up needing to use
Shazam a little bit.
yeah. Perfect. There you go. And actually, Insurgency Batman's got one of the best special 2s, like a high damage. Oh, this is not a good demonstration of Sam's ability. There we go. Now we're going to juggle.
It's basically over.
Yeah.
Shazam's ability is so good. What did you gear him up like?
Well, this was actually the way we've got him geared for defense, so it's not actually the most efficient. Hold on. He's got special. He's got the Kryptonian battle suit, I think.
Oh.
To give him a little bit of a health boost. Heal on special 2. Special 1. Boost. Sorry, special 1 stun. I think it's nth metal.
Morningstar?
Morningstar from.
Hot Girl.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Just a quick look.
There.
And Triumph Poseidon.
Okay.
Special 2 booster. Just in case we get him to trigger his 3rd. Which doesn't happen nearly as often as we'd like.
In multiplayer.
Yeah. On defense.
Defense, yeah.
So that's not bad. There we go. This is what we meant to see. Alright. So there is. Okay, so it's not actually geared towards increasing
Special 2.
his. Yeah.
Kinda weird.
She's going to be interesting. No health boost though. Ah, and the new Scorpion. Okay.
Already 15 Elite 7.
Somebody's putting in some time. Alright.
Or good at hacking. One of those two.
It doesn't really take much.
Doesn't matter.
He's not easy to afford. Save up a few bucks and just level him up. Alright, so this is exactly why, whether we win or lose this is going to beautifully illustrate.
Oh.
Beautiful.
He absorbed the special too like it was nothing. It would have been great to see the reflect though. That would have been hilarious.
What I love about this Scorpion is so slow. I love facing him on multiplayer.
Yeah.
So we've got the crit chance on one, I think.
There we go. Yep.
Raven, thank you. This was what I wanted to have the boost for. This is why when this exchanges, I want him to be low health.
Oh, now it'd be great if she exchanged health with you.
Ooh, wrong guy. I was thinking.
Try to switch in Green Lantern.
Yeah.
It's okay. Wait. Beat him and switch.
Oh, wrong guy.
Wrong guy again.
So when you're playing like this and you have a guy who's a tank and really not much else, one of the things that we should have been doing, weren't doing properly, was bringing him in to take a special. When the special is there, and somebody's dropping in to drop one on you, you need to bring in your tank. That was a little sloppy. But I really like when Flash's bullet time engages and Raven's right in front of us. He's perfect for Arkham Origins Deathstroke, for protecting against a special 1 when it crits, and against Raven too. Even though it's not the traditional way of, dropping her low enough,
Ooh.
and then doing a big special
Once
1 or
more
big
we get to
special 2.
Arkham Origins Batman.
Alright.
It's nice.
Yeah,
Okay, so Arkham Origins Batman has the has his Batmobile, and Shazam has Ra's al Ghul's.
Yeah, that seems the most likely makeup.
Unless it's the other way around, which wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
I'm assuming that Batman probably also has his Batsuit. Because it seems like somebody who's just building it, not necessarily because it's better, but building it because of the extra ability, that's it, right?
Yep.
If I had to guess. Shazam has area effect. There we go. Yeah, this person is definitely building it just because character specific gear, not actually because of it being better. You might as well drain your specials.
Good advice.
You could switch if you want to absorb it after this. He's probably going to try to special you right after this combo.
Yeah, I want max speed when he does that.
Or you could switch to Green Lantern.
But then I'll lose my speed boost.
I guess so. Now is definitely time to switch.
And I need to buy a
Boom!
little bit of time.
And you dealt him 111 damage.
I need to buy a little bit of time to switch in somebody else.
And that is the time that you needed.
Oops. Oh. I did not plan for that to happen. Yeah, you know what? It's really just an excuse to use Elsewhere Flash. He's not the best because he's a little bit soft, low health, but I love using him. He's so much fun.
Boom. 509 damage. And then 540 something it looked like. He could take 22 of those hits.
There we go. So that's a really good illustration, right? Regime Green Lantern, he's not got any real features that would otherwise make him a good tank. You gear him up properly, and all of a sudden, he's a really useful member of your team.
Yeah.
Oops, on my fingers. There you go.
He got booped on the nose.
So this is our first. Oh, and you wanted to see what? Did we already go over Green Lantern's gear? Yeah, we did. So this is our illustration of the first in 3 parts, or 3 or 4 parts, of how we put together a multiplayer team. And you got to have somebody who can take the damage. We call him a tank, starting off with high health, a special passive, or even both, and maybe even a third where you gear him up properly to make him handle a really strong special.
Yeah, as many of these as possible in one character.
Right. So the next thing we're going to do is a damage dealer, which is critical if you don't want your multiplayer fight to last basically forever.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching.
See you guys next time.